All right, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Let me make sure this mic is working. All right, it actually sounds pretty good. All right, so we have a lot to talk about. Um, yeah, we definitely have a lot of events happening, especially today. Today is definitely going to be a major severe weather outbreak, as you can see on screen here, um, given via radar Omega. We definitely have a major severe weather outbreak taking shape later on throughout the day today. It's definitely going to be interesting. We do have that double layer moderate risk. So in the red here, so you can see this encompasses portions of Iowa, down through even extreme portions of southwestern Wisconsin, all the way through eastern Illinois, even northeastern Missouri as well. And this also includes more areas down here to the south. This includes southeastern Missouri, portions of extreme southwestern Kentucky, eastern Tennessee, western Tennessee. My apologies. It's been a long night. It's a crazy night at work. But anyway, also northeastern and eastern Arkansas here, as well as northwestern Mississippi. Those are in the moderate risk here. So definitely, this is about 4 out of 5 risks. So definitely very high there. We also have a broad area in this orange here. That is the enhanced risk. We could definitely expect numerous severe thunderstorms, possibly even some interesting setups here with tornadoes. Definitely some large hail, gorilla hail is definitely going to be prominent here. This includes a very broad area as well. And then even the slight risk, we're definitely have to watch this area very carefully as well, as storms can definitely get their act together here. But we definitely appreciate you guys joining the stream. If you can do me a favor, definitely hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you are enjoying our content, which I definitely hope you are. And also, definitely leave us a comment down below. It definitely helps these videos get into the algorithm. That way we can share this information far and wide, which we definitely want to do that. That way we can get the information into the hands of those that need it the most. But definitely thank you guys for joining. Definitely thank you for subscribing. Definitely shout out to... we've reached a little over 2,100 subscribers now, so definitely thank you to each and every one of you guys. You guys make this possible, so we definitely appreciate it. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting Friday, folks. So take a look at this. Let's actually zoom into the top portion of this rather quickly here. We'll take a look at this. This is the northern portion of the moderate risk. Let me adjust my mic here a little bit. Let me see here. Move my screen a little bit. Might be able to move this. Let me do a mic check real quick. Make sure this is still good. Let's see here. See if that sounds okay. All right, it sounds okay. Yeah, we're doing good. All right, but take a look at this, guys. This definitely encompasses a very broad area. This includes the cities of Waterloo, Dubuque here, Cedar Rapids, Marshalltown, Des Moines even, Iowa City, Davenport, Ottumwa, Mount Pleasant, Burlington, Galesburg, Macomb, Canton, Peoria, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, Centerville, Kirksville, Quincy as well. So definitely a lot of interesting information definitely here. Let's actually take a look at this. I can go down to the south a little bit. Let's go down to the south here. To this moderate risk as well. This does include the cities of Little Rock, Memphis, South Haven, Batesville, Newport, Jonesboro, Paragould, Kennett, Blytheville, Dyersburg, Union City, Poplar Bluff, Silkston, even over into Jackson, Tennessee here. Definitely Memphis, right? Definitely going to be in the bullseye area for some of these major storms to develop as well. We do have that area, that broad area of enhanced risk that we're going to have to watch out for. This includes Madison, Rockford, Chicago, Springfield, Urbana, Lafayette, St. Louis, Jefferson City, Columbia, Evansville, Hopkinsville, Clarksville, Nashville, Florence, Tupelo, Greenville, even Little Rock as well, the western side of Little Rock here, Pine Bluff. And then we even have that slight risk that goes all the way down towards Tyler, Texas, down through College Station, Shreveport, Monroe, Tuscaloosa, Birmingham, Huntsville, even Chattanooga getting in the action, Louisville, Lexington, Richmond, Cincinnati, Dayton, Indianapolis, Fort Wayne, South Bend, Kalamazoo. Hi, Hopper. And we have Grand Rapids in that area as well. That is definitely the slight risk. But let's actually take a look at some of the data coming in. So let's actually go over to Pivotal Weather here. Definitely pop this up rather quickly just to show you guys. Definitely appreciate you guys joining for sure. So we're looking at isolated severe thunderstorms remain possible tonight across portions of the central and southern plains region. So the western United States trough is progressing steadily east this evening, with one piece of this feature ejecting into western Wyoming, northwestern Colorado. The low-level jet is strengthening over the plains in response, with warm air advection now focused along a corridor from central Nebraska, southern Minnesota here. Additionally, boundary layer moisture is increasing into an associated baroclinic zone with 50 surface dew points impinging on the wind shift across eastern Nebraska. So it's definitely pretty crazy. So we're going to watch this. We have steepening mid-level lapse rates as well spreading across the region. Isolated robust convection should continue to evolve along north of the stationary boundary this evening with an attendant threat for large hail. Further south, a cluster of convection evolved over the southern plains earlier today is now spreading into the Ozarks. This activity is moving into a drier air mass, so the threat of severe weather immediately downstream appears low at this time. However, late in the period, large-scale forcing should weaken inhibition currently. So there's some concern that convection may develop ahead of the boundary as it encounters more moist, buoyant environment near the Red River into central Oklahoma. Forecast sounding support. Very, very interesting large hail encounters here. So definitely going to be pretty crazy as we head on through the day here. Just to show you guys, take a look at this tornado risk here that we have. So it's definitely interesting. We have the chance for significant tornadoes. This stretches from Iowa, Wisconsin, Illinois, down through Missouri, all the way down through Kentucky, Tennessee, Arkansas, even to northern Mississippi as well as northwestern Alabama. So we definitely have that major area for tornadoes today. Also, we have that threat for gorilla hail, so we're definitely expecting golf ball size hail, baseball size hail even, possibly even getting up to softball size hail right here through, we're going to say Iowa here, up through Wisconsin, Illinois as well, all the way down through Missouri. So it's definitely going to be an interesting day for that. If you guys are traveling around here, definitely please be careful. This hail can be very, very dangerous and life-threatening. So that's definitely pretty crazy. Let me go back because I forgot to switch that. Hang on 1 second here. So take a look at that tornado risk. That is definitely major. You can see this hatched area. This represents significant tornadoes here. So if we take a look at this down to the south, let me see if I can get this going here. Down here, significant tornadoes. It's definitely pretty crazy. So this actually stretches all the way through the Ozarks to the east of the Ozarks here. Right around the Little Rock area, stretching all the way through Memphis, so Memphis, Tennessee. Be on the lookout for very strong, violent, long-track tornadoes. This actually goes all the way to the north through Iowa as well. It's definitely not a good situation. Let's take a look at that hail threat one more time. You can definitely see that significant hatched area for hail as well. This goes from Missouri, Illinois, Iowa as well, even into southwestern Wisconsin. So definitely be on the lookout for that. I wouldn't be surprised, actually, if we get some large hail in the very extreme portions of southeastern Minnesota as well. And then take a look at the winds for today. We definitely have those significant winds coming in here into over much of the same area. We have Iowa, Illinois, Missouri, even Wisconsin, possibly even getting into Minnesota down here as well through Kentucky, southeastern Missouri, eastern Arkansas, and northern Mississippi, and northwestern Alabama as well. So definitely we have that major threat today for a lot. We have basically all modes of severe weather definitely possible today. So we're going to have to keep an eye out on this. And just to show you guys the 4-panel solution here, go over here. So definitely we have the actual overall risk here. To the right, we have that tornado risk. Down here at the bottom left, we have that hail risk. And down here to the bottom right, we have that wind risk. So it's definitely going to be a very interesting day today. Not going to be good in terms of severe weather. So definitely please make sure you guys have an action plan in place. Definitely get ready. Power outages are definitely likely. If you are traveling out there and you encounter severe weather, please pull over and head into a sturdy building. definitely would be advised for today. And if you do encounter flooded roadways, definitely make sure you guys turn around, don't drown. Your life is always more important than where you're going. So definitely keep that in mind, folks. So let's actually take a look at tomorrow as well. Interestingly enough, we have a two-pronged threat as well tomorrow. Let's focus on the northeastern threat here. So we could definitely see within Allegheny County here in Pittsburgh area, the World Weather Authority studio is definitely in the slight risk. So I'm going to try to activate storm chase mode tomorrow. Definitely try to get live coverage of the actual severe weather that comes in. So definitely going to be a good time tomorrow. But yeah, this encompasses much of Pennsylvania and southern New York here, even into upstate New York as well. We're going to have to watch the threat for severe weather. Not much in the way of tornadoes, but we're still going to have to watch that. I'm definitely going to take a look at some of the data, given the model data here. We'll definitely take a look at some photographs in a little bit here, things like that, just to show you guys what the threat looks like. Not much in the way of hail either. It definitely looks like the hail is going to be a little bit limited, but we'll definitely see. We're going to delve into the data a little bit more. But those winds are going to be cranking tomorrow, so definitely give you guys an update on that. Let me switch gears here just to show you guys rather quickly. Let's see if I can pull this up. So this is for the Pittsburgh area. This actually includes Allegheny, Washington, Greene, Westmoreland, Fayette, Indiana, Brooke, Ohio, Marshall, Wetzel, Marion, Monongalia. This includes the cities of New Kensington, Monessen, Wheeling, Latrobe, Fairmont, Lower Borough, Uniontown, Pittsburgh metro area, Greensburg, Morgantown, Washington, Murraysville, Indiana, Canonsburg, Wellsburg, Waynesburg, Moundsville, New Martinsville, and Follansbee. We're looking at a high wind watch remains in effect from Saturday morning through Saturday evening. We're looking at southwest winds sustained about 30 to 40 mile per hour with gusts up to 60 miles per hour possible. Definitely scatter some 70 mile per hour winds as well, as environmental conditions are definitely going to be conducive for winds to be in excess of 70. This is for portions of southwest and western Pennsylvania, portions of northern and the northern panhandle of West Virginia. Again, this is from Saturday morning through Saturday evening. The impacts include damaging winds, so this could definitely blow down trees and power lines. Widespread power outages are possible. Travel could be very difficult, especially for high-profile vehicles, such as trucks, SUVs, things like that, buses, so definitely be on the lookout for that. Definitely please stay safe as these winds are definitely coming in. We can definitely take a look at this hazardous weather outlook as well. This is for Allegheny, Washington, Greene, Westmoreland, Fayette, Indiana, Brooke, Ohio, Marshall, Wetzel, Marion, and Monongalia. So this hazardous weather outlook is for southwestern Pennsylvania, western Pennsylvania, and northern West Virginia. So the same thing, we're looking at high wind watch. So we're looking at wind gusts of 50 to 60 mile per hour. I would definitely scatter a few upper 60s and 70s in there as well. Possible Saturday late morning to afternoon. Additionally, strong to severe thunderstorms may develop Saturday evening with a cold frontal passage. We're going to have to watch this. So weather spotters are encouraged to report significant weather conditions. So definitely I'm going to try to get out there and definitely report some of these conditions for you guys. Definitely want to do that live tomorrow. Definitely a live storm chase to get this going. Hopefully I can do that. I'm probably going to try. Definitely going to try my best to get out there for you guys. All right, let me pull up some of this data for you. Take a look at some of these models. Hang on one second. All right, let me pull up some of the model data here for you guys. Let's see here. Get this going so that way we can get this rolling, folks. All right, there we go. Now we have all the data that we need. I definitely wanted to reduce the opacity here of the actual layer, but keep the actual borders here so we can see what's going on. Keep in mind these two areas, so this red outlined area as well as this one are the moderate risk. This orange outlined area is the enhanced risk. Then this yellow outlined area will be the slight risk, and the green outlined area will be the marginal risk. So you can see, according to the HRRR model, you can see storms are going to be firing around 8 a.m. This will be east of the Oklahoma City area, east of Shawnee as well. Let me zoom in a little bit so that way we can get some more resolution here. All right, so this is going to be near the Cromwell, Weewaka area down through the Holdenville area here as well. It's going to be through Highway 48, Highway 75 here, even down through Vamusa, right along 377 here. This will be, let me zoom out just a little bit more. All right, so this will be into the Oklahoma area. This is eventually going to head off to the east over here into Arkansas. But this is going to be around 8 a.m. this morning. We're definitely expecting some strong storms here starting to develop east of Oklahoma City. So definitely be on the lookout for that. We definitely have some rain as well coming in into the Pittsburgh area all the way through Columbus. Definitely getting in that drenching rain. So it's definitely be a very, very rainy morning, very rainy start to the day, even through Cincinnati, Columbus, down through Cleveland, Akron as well. Heading into the Pittsburgh area, definitely getting in on the action later on today. We're going to have a little bit of cells popping up here. This is going to be east of St. Louis, definitely east of the I-57 corridor here through Illinois, heading into Indiana. This is going to be near Vincennes here, up through Jasper, Bloomington as well. Indianapolis, definitely going to get on the action a little bit later. Actually step this forward a little bit so we can go to 10 a.m. We're definitely have to watch these cells here. This is eventually heading into northwestern Arkansas. This is going to be through Bella Vista, Rogers, Elm Springs, Fayetteville, Elkins, between Elkins and Alma, right along the I-49 corridor heading up to the north here. We're going to have to watch this. This is at 10 a.m. Later on this morning. But you can definitely see some of these stronger cells are definitely going to be forming here near Mount Gaylor, Bidville here, Mountain Crest, Winslow as well, up through West Fork, Greenland, over through Dutch Mills and Stillwell. You can definitely see there's going to be some big-time hail makers as well, and even up through Bella Vista as well, heading into Highway 62, up through Seligman, Jacket, Garfield. Definitely Bella Vista here is definitely going to get hit very hard between I'd say 9 a.m. and 11 a.m. this morning. You can see Carthage as well as we head up to the north. This is actually in Missouri here, so this is southwestern Missouri, just to zoom out a little bit just to show you guys. And here even into northeastern Oklahoma and southeastern Kansas, down through the Parsons, Girard, Pittsburgh, Oswego, Columbus, even through Joplin and Carthage, definitely getting hit later on this morning. So definitely keep an eye out on that. We're going to have to watch some of these prefrontal confluence bands as well, over through Hopkinsville, Clarksville, Nashville, Murfreesboro, around the 10 a.m. area. Even up through Fort Wayne, down through Indianapolis. We're going to have to watch some of these. Definitely get some warnings. Definitely possible here. So let's actually step forward just a little bit. We can go to right around the lunchtime hour. This is definitely where some of these cells are definitely going to start taking off, especially with the heating of the day here. You can definitely see. So this is down to the south of Harrison. This is into northern Arkansas here. This is right along Highway 7, just to the south of Jasper, heading into Nail, Deer, Edwards Junction, and Mount Judea. I'm definitely going to get some, possibly some large hail here for sure. Over through Paradise, Peanut as well, Jethro, and Batson, down through Sulphur Springs, Clarksville, right along the I-40 corridor here, stretching from Knoxville all the way over through Tony here. you can definitely see it's going to be an interesting day for sure. I'm definitely going to pull up some photographs here in a little bit, but I just want to pull up some of these, some of the radar data, the future radar data from the H-triple-R model, just to show you guys. We're also going to have to watch these storms in central Missouri here up through Jefferson City, eventually heading into St. Louis, right along the I-44 corridor. This is to the east and northeast of Springfield, right to the north of West Plains here, down to the southeast of St. Robert, Lebanon, down through Rolla here, right along Highway 19 and 63. Yeah, it's definitely not looking good. Some of these cells could actually be sort of discrete as well, especially these cells. This cell over to the east of Springfield. We're definitely going to have to watch that one for sure. So let me give you a highlight. Let me highlight this area. All right, in here we're going to have to watch that cell. We're also going to have to watch these cells up here near Jefferson City, as well as these cells to the northeast of Lebanon, all the way down, basically stretching along this linear structure with these few discrete supercells coming in as well. We're going to have to watch this area very carefully around the lunchtime hours. If you are traveling in this area, definitely please be on the lookout. Definitely make sure you have a plan in place just in case severe weather strikes your area. Even down to here through Kansas City as well, even to the northeast. These are going to be some big time hail makers up here, up through Bramer, Blue Mound, Breckenridge, Meadville. These are definitely going to be some big time hail makers up here. We're going to have to watch these. These sort of look like three discrete supercells here. This one probably is going to be more of a linear structure, but we're going to have to watch this one here back by Kingston, Pulo, and Lawson. We can definitely see some very, very damaging winds and some large hail from these storms. It's definitely not going to be storms to play with, folks, so definitely please be on the lookout and definitely stay weather ready today as well. Surprisingly enough, it's actually not going to be until about 1 or 2 p.m. later on today that we're going to starting to get into the action in these moderate risk areas. So we're going to have to watch these prefrontal confluence bands as well. Heading into the lunchtime hour, right about 1 and 2 p.m. Just to the northwest of Memphis, we're going to have to watch these prefrontal confluence bands, as they could turn into supercells rather quickly, especially given the environmental conditions today. Especially some of these cells here coming in near Trenton, Milan, Green City. This is in northern Missouri. Heading into southern Iowa, these storms are going to be very, very strong. This is around 1 p.m. today through Trenton, Milan, Green City, Unionville, Centerville, Bloomfield as well. Even over here through Memphis, Missouri, we're going to have to watch this very carefully. These storms are definitely going to take off, especially down here to the south of St. Louis, to the north of Fredericktown. So in the vicinity of the I-44 and the I-55 corridors, we're going to have to watch these cells as they can blow up. Definitely environmental conditions are going to be very conducive for all severe weather modes today. Let me actually zoom out a little bit and take this a little further. Alright, let's actually take this a little bit back. There we go. Man, those cells definitely around to the southeast of St. Louis down here in southern Illinois are definitely going to be some interesting storms to watch, as that warm front's definitely going to be lifting up to the north. As if these cells can definitely anchor down into that area, we're going to have to watch these. These cells could definitely be tornado producers here in southern Illinois, up through Harrisburg, Carbondale, even down through Paducah as well. Definitely be on the lookout for these storms. It's going to be a big hail maker down here around 2 p.m. today, around Norman, Mount Ida, through the Hot Springs area, just to the northwest of Murphysville and Nashville. We're going to have to watch this storm. Definitely very, very linear in structure, but it could be a discrete supercell, especially this one to the southwest of DeQueen here, right along Highway 24 here between DeQueen and Idabel. This is around 2 p.m. today. I do believe the H-triple-R model is definitely going to resolve with a high degree of confidence as we march on throughout the day. If we head up through to the south east of Des Moines here through Ottumwa and Centerville. These definitely could be very interesting supercells here, especially one over Oskaloosa here, Albia, and Centerville. These three cells are going to be very, very interesting to watch, especially if the HRRR, which I do believe it is going to materialize. There's definitely a high degree of confidence today in the HRRR model that these storms are definitely going to take off. Looks like a big rain shield here over Columbus, Cincinnati, Parkersburg, Charleston, Morgantown, and Pittsburgh today. So we're definitely going to get a soaking rain here in the Pittsburgh area. Man, look at that cell to the west of Little Rock. Just around 3 p.m. right over the Hot Springs Village and Hot Springs. Definitely Little Rock is going to be under the gun today, unfortunately. If we step this forward just another hour, Little Rock around 4 p.m. today definitely could get rocked. So definitely between 3 and 4 p.m. Definitely be on the lookout for those storms here. This looks like a more linear structure. Let me see. Let me take you guys here just to draw this out. You can definitely see this linear structure, but you can see the low-level jet's going to be rampant here, guys, so it's definitely going to be cranking out through here. We're definitely going to get a lot of damaging winds here through Little Rock, Jacksonville, Cabot, up through Searcy as well. And these are going to track right along the I-40 corridor over through Forest City, Wynn, Harrisburg, even up through Newport and Jonesboro as well. So we're going to have to watch these cells as they develop. And we even have some of these cells developing down here around 4 p.m. through the Shreveport area and through Nacogdoches here and Lufkin. Take a look at this cell down here around 4 p.m. today. This is definitely going to be a major player as we head on through the afternoon and evening hours today. Especially this sort of linear structure of supercells heading up through Shreveport on the northwestern side. We're going to have to watch those very carefully. But this one is very concerning down to the south. This could definitely be a very, very major hail producer. This is through Nacogdoches here, Lufkin, just to the southeast of Palestine and south of Jacksonville, but just off to the west of Lufkin. This is definitely going to hit Nacogdoches here. This is also going to hit Crockett as well, probably around the 3:30 time frame. So definitely not looking good today in terms of severe weather. We're definitely going to have, especially those cells here stretching from Jonesboro down through Little Rock. It's definitely going to be a major, major event in those areas. We're even going to have some supercells down here, possibly to the south of Evansville, even Owensboro, Henderson, right along the 169 and 69 corridors here. We're going to definitely have to watch these down through Madisonville, Central City, Greenville, even over through Tell City as well. Louisville, Kentucky definitely can get in on the action as well later on today. But these cells up to the north through Iowa City, Cedar Rapids, Davenport, Burlington, Galesburg, Macomb. And this one looks very concerning. This one actually sort of getting that hook echo shape on it. Of course, this is just model data. This is not just happening at the moment right now. But that's very concerning. It's also... you can see that hook shape. You can also see that sort of flying eagle configuration, that V-notch coming in. So it basically looks like an eagle sort of flying or diving down as well. You get that hook echo like this. You get that beak coming in. And you get the wings of the eagle like this with that V-notch to the north. So definitely a very major hail producer, possibly even a tornado producer here. This is going to be over Humeston here, eventually over Corydon, Saxon, Peoria, Garden Grove, Derby as well. Definitely be on the lookout for large hail in Derby today. Now up through Lucas as well. This could definitely be a very intense storm as we head into the evening hours tonight. Let me actually zoom out so you guys can see where this is located. This is actually in southern Iowa and even Des Moines here. Around 4 p.m. Definitely going to get hit, unfortunately. Definitely looks like by a strong cell here. Definitely almost looks like a bow echo forming on radar here, at least on future radar. So let's take a look at that. You can sort of see the overall structure sort of bowing out to the east there. You have that massive low-level jet definitely ramping and cranking behind this storm as well. And you can sort of get some circulations up here just to the northwest of Des Moines here, so we're going to have to watch that for bookend vortice development, which could definitely produce weaker tornadoes or possibly even stronger tornadoes. As long as the cell to the south doesn't impede the inflow to that storm, we could definitely see very, very strong storms definitely developing there. Even through Iowa City, Davenport, Galesburg, Burlington. I could definitely see Burlington. A few massive hail reports from there. Rockford as well, Dubuque, possibly even into the Chicago area, and even over into the south central Indiana area to the south of Bloomington here in the south of Columbus. Definitely some hail producers here as well, so we're going to have to watch these. This overall setup as this develops. Let me actually step forward in time a little bit more to show you guys some more data here. You can see these storms definitely get even more severe, unfortunately, as we head into the 5 p.m. hour tonight. This evening is definitely going to be very crucial in terms of severe weather for sure, as that structure sort of comes together to the east of Des Moines here and heads into Centerville, Ottumwa, Iowa City, and Cedar Rapids. Definitely please be on the lookout, and Anamosa as well. Definitely be on the lookout around, between 4 and 6 p.m. tonight. Even Kirksville, this storm definitely not looking good. Even to the storm to the south. If this does materialize later on tonight, this could be down here through Macon, just to the west of Monroe City and Hannibal here, as well as Quincy. These two storms could definitely be very intense. If this does actually materialize, unfortunately, this may, if this actually does happen, which most likely it will. Unfortunately, this definitely looks like it could be a massive hook echo here coming through Macon today, even through Moberly here, through Kirksville and Memphis as well. Even over into Quincy, Palmyra is going to have to watch out. Hannibal through the I-72 corridor and Monroe City as well. This is going to be just to the north of Bowling Green and Louisiana here, Pittsfield as well. This is actually into sort of eastern Missouri here and northeastern Missouri, so we're going to have to watch these very carefully. On the south side of St. Louis as well, down through Festus, Sullivan. Let me zoom in a little bit here. Fletcher, DeSoto here. Definitely be on the lookout on this storm. If this does materialize, we can get another hook echo definitely starting to develop, especially if this storm can drop a little bit to the south, sort of get that cyclonic rotation going on there. So definitely be on the lookout for that. Even up to the north of St. Louis on the northern side through Wentzville and Alton, right along the I-55 corridor. It's definitely a very good area to chase today, especially down here through Jonesboro, Truman, Harrisburg, Newport as well, and Searcy. You definitely see some of these cells near McCrory, Augusta, Bald Knob here, over through Cherry Valley and Wynn, Parkin, and Eagle. This is down to the south. This is actually in northeastern and eastern Arkansas. So definitely be on the lookout for some big-time hail makers as well. Even some tornadoes, long-track tornadoes in the Jonesboro area today. Even in the Memphis area, unfortunately, very highly populated areas. We're going to have to watch these storms very carefully. And to the southwest of Pine Bluff, down through Camden and El Dorado, and even down to the north of the Shreveport area into Minden and Ruston, Monroe, over through Greenville, and even into Vicksburg as well. Definitely be on the lookout. Definitely make sure you guys are weather ready today. We say always be prepared, not scared, for sure. I know these storms can definitely be very frightening, but nevertheless, it's always better to be prepared because you never know what's going to actually impact your neck of the woods, unfortunately. Let's actually step forward a little bit here. See here. Let's go into the 6 p.m. hour tonight. Ooh, these storms are definitely looking nasty in the moderate risk area. So the SPC is definitely going to live up to their moderate risk today. I definitely have that feeling, especially down here in southeastern Iowa, near the Burlington area. Can definitely get rocked today. Right through Mount Pleasant, Iowa City, Cedar Rapids as well, down through Quincy and Hannibal. Could definitely get rocked by some major severe weather here. It's very unfortunate because I do really hope that no lives are lost today. It's definitely going to be, it's going to be a major day today. So definitely, guys, please heed the warnings of the National Weather Service. Definitely share this information out there. I do apologize if I sound kind of robotic today. Just work was absolutely insane last night, and yeah, it's definitely gonna be another interesting night tonight as well. Um, but yeah, I do apologize ahead of time if I do sound a little bit robotic this morning. I definitely don't mean to sound that way. But it's definitely it was definitely a big truck last night. It's to the east of Little Rock here as well. We're going to have major severe weather up through the Memphis area, Jonesboro, Blytheville as well. We're going to have to watch these cells that develop along the I-55 and I-40 corridor here down to the south of Harrisburg, Truman, Manila here, even through Covington. So guys, definitely please be on the lookout for very, very intense tornadoes today. I really don't like to say that just because you never know. It could definitely be a very intense day, but tornadoes are always my main concern, especially given the tornadoes that actually hit a few days ago. Definitely not good. Take a look at these cells up through Austin, Mason City as well. This is actually in northern Iowa. We're going to have to watch some of these storms as well. These are going to be big-time hail makers, so we're definitely looking at possibly golf ball size hail, ping pong size hail. Again, even possibly up to baseball size hail that we may see. Some of these storms are definitely going to be very intense, even through Madison, Milwaukee as well. And even over Lake Michigan, heading into the Grand Rapids and Kalamazoo area are definitely going to get hit later on today. So definitely please be on the lookout for some of these storms. We're going to have some heavy flooding rains here to the south of Columbus, through Cincinnati, Ashland, Charleston, Parkersburg. Especially here in central West Virginia, through Weston, Clarksburg, Grafton, down through Snowshoe as well, Mill Creek. It's definitely going to be an interesting day in terms of rain and severe weather as well. So definitely, please, guys, heed these warnings. Definitely, please listen to your local meteorologist, and definitely if you do have no weather radio, definitely make sure you guys have that definitely handy. Definitely keep your cell phones charged as well. Definitely make sure you guys have a plan in place in case severe weather does strike your neck of the woods. So let's actually step forward here into the evening hours. You can see this, it's not looking good here to the south of Davenport and even into the Davenport Cedar Rapids area. So let's zoom in a little bit here through Galesburg, Peoria, Bloomington as well, down through Springfield, even up through the I-57 corridor to the northeast of St. Louis, to the south of Urbana, even down through Evansville, Indiana, definitely looking at some strong storms. And unfortunately down here, and the second moderate risk down to the south, Jonesboro, Memphis, Jackson, definitely getting in on the action as well. It's definitely not going to be a good situation, folks. Man, some of these cells are going to be very intense. Some of this rain as well, even down here into West Virginia. Eastern West Virginia is going to get slammed with rain later on today. Even up through Wisconsin as well, down through Madison. Even Rochester, Minnesota, definitely getting hit with some of this. Let's actually step this forward a little bit more. You can see this severe weather is definitely sticking with us all the way through the nocturnal hours through tonight. Indianapolis tonight around 11 p.m., 12 a.m. Definitely please be on the lookout for very strong storms to come through. It's definitely be very intense. And even down here through Clarksville, Nashville, and Memphis, definitely getting hit once again later on today. So you guys are going to have another squall line coming in, or QLCS, quasi-linear convective system, coming through around the evening hours tonight. So it's definitely going to be very, very intense. Let's actually take a look at some of these indices. Definitely like to take a look at these. Let's take a look at the significant tornado parameter as well. It's definitely not looking good later on today. So let me actually fast forward this a little bit. And that is not good. So right here, folks, right around the 5 p.m. hour, up to the north of Poplar Bluff, Piedmont, Ellington, Fredericktown, Ironton, Farmington, down through Doniphan as well. Take a look at some of these values here. We're looking at significant tornado parameters up near 7. So that's definitely not good. Definitely not good at all, folks. This is definitely going to get worse as we head on through the night. Even Little Rock looking at values of 3 to 4 today. So it's definitely not a good situation. Let me actually step this forward. I'm curious about later on tonight. Man, look at the back side of this squall line and some of these cells as well. to the north and south of St. Louis, up through Whitehall, Winchester as well, Alton, all the way down to the south of Festus, down through Farmington, Fredericktown. If you're traveling along I-55 between St. Louis and just say Jackson and Scott City here, it's definitely not looking good. We definitely have that chance for tornadic supercells. Definitely have that major action in tornado development later on, especially down here through Scott City. Let me zoom back in on that again. That's definitely not looking good, folks. Man, take a look at that. That's just insane. That's values of 6 and 7 here as well. This is right over Thebes, Gale, Commerce, Scott City, Kelso, Tankville. So not looking good. Let me zoom out a little bit again. Thank you guys for bearing with me. I hope I'm not too boring today or too robotic. Definitely not trying to be. Just extremely tired from work last night. Ooh, this is just to the south of Jonesboro here. So this is southern Illinois here, definitely getting hit for sure later on tonight. Even up to the Davenport, Springfield area as well. Definitely not looking good. Let me see if I can pull up some more data here for you guys. Definitely want to take a look at the SRH values, 0 to 1 kilometer. Storm relative helicity. Actually, take a look at this. Apologize, this connection's going pretty slow today for some reason. Man, so 5 p.m. Definitely to the south of St. Louis here. To the I-55 corridor, once again, to the southwest of Festus and to the northwest of Farmington. Definitely be on the lookout for some of these storms definitely to anchor here. These storms are definitely going to be able to dynamically pipe, these mesocyclones dynamically pipe down to the surface, and we're definitely going to get some very violent tornadoes today. Definitely EF3, EF4. I don't want to say EF4 or EF5, but it's definitely possible, unfortunately. I definitely hope there are no EF5s today. That would definitely be... That's definitely very, very catastrophic, unfortunately. We do not want that. Even EF4s, any tornado really is not going to be good. But, you know, if we can have weaker tornadoes today, that would be very good if we can have weaker tornadoes. Unfortunately, the model data is definitely suggesting that we are going to have some pretty strong tornadoes today. These are actually rainfall totals, so let's see what we got here. We're looking at almost an inch here, in a little over an inch in some places here in central West Virginia here, up through the Charleston area, even down through Parkersburg, Morgantown as well. Definitely getting all the action. It looks like Pittsburgh, we're looking at about almost a half an inch of rain today, so definitely a pretty good, decent soaking rain today. Unfortunately, we could possibly see over 2.5, up to 2.5 inches here. This is to the northeast of Memphis, up through Dyersburg, through McKenzie, Paris as well, Jackson, Brownsville, and this little corridor here. Let me zoom in a little bit so that way we can get some of the city names in here. And we're looking at Halls, Dyer, Dyersburg, New Bern, Maury City as well, Alamo. Some of these rainfall totals possibly up to 2.5 inches, possibly even more. We could definitely see maybe 3 inches of rainfall here. So definitely not a good situation. All right, let me switch over to pivotal weather once again. I definitely want to pull up some of the photographs here. Definitely appreciate you guys bearing with me. If you haven't yet, and you guys are actually enjoying the broadcast today, definitely consider hitting that like button and that subscribe button as well if you're not subscribed. Definitely tomorrow, I want to try to go storm chasing tomorrow up here in the Pittsburgh area. Probably not going to be too intense, but nevertheless, it's definitely fun to actually go storm chasing up here. All right, let me see here. Let me pull this up for you guys. Hang on 1 second, guys, until I pull this up. All right, there we go. Let's take a look at some of these indices here. Let's start in Arkansas here. I went through Oklahoma. We're going to start through about 5 p.m. tonight. Let's take a look at some of these photographs here. Take a look at this. Definitely 0 to 1 kilometer curvature, definitely very prominent. Let me zoom in on that a little bit so you guys can see that. Yeah, we definitely have strong curvature here, 0 to 1 kilometer. We're looking at about 40 knots. So we're definitely, let me see here. Let me get this going here. You're looking at about 46 miles per hour. So that's definitely pretty good. Storm motion is definitely going to be up there. We're definitely looking at storm motions between 45 and 65 mile per hour. So it's definitely going to be pretty intense. Take a look at that storm slinky as well. We're definitely going to have a lot of bowing segments and wind as well. It's definitely not going to be a day to play with here in the vicinity just to the southeast of Little Rock here around the 5 p.m. area time frame. So let me zoom in. Let me zoom back out a little bit. Let's head up towards Missouri here. We have that linear structure here as well, where it's definitely not looking good. Some of these photographs are very favorable for tornadoes later on today. Let me actually go down to the south a little bit. There we go. Man, take a look at that photograph. That is absolutely insane. 0 to 1 kilometer. We're looking at almost 60 knots as well. So we're looking at about 69 mile per hour low-level jet winds there. We're also looking at storm motions, 63 knots. We're looking at about 73 mile per hour storm motions. So it's definitely going to be very intense. There's going to be some very strong winds as well. And we're almost looking at, you can see this right here on the screen. Let me zoom in. The storm slinky right in the center of the screen there. It basically gives a judge sort of a preliminary judge on what storm type we're going to have. It definitely looks like we could have definitely bowing segments and hook echoes definitely developing later on today as well. We're looking at 455 for the storm relative helicity. Surface Cape is going to be around 1165. Forecast to go up to about 1900 joules per kilogram, so definitely pretty intense. We're looking at classic supercells today with that precipitable water value a little under an inch. So that's definitely good news, at least in terms of some of these tornadoes. Some of these tornadoes, if they do develop here, into central and eastern Missouri, they could definitely be pretty visible. So that's definitely good news. So let's actually head on into about 6 p.m. tonight. And let me head back down into Arkansas here. Take a look at some of these cells. Yeah, that's not good. Unfortunately, PDS tornado warning, guys. So that's a particularly dangerous situation later on tonight. Down through the Little Rock area, you can see the 0 to 1 kilometer hodograph. We're looking at about almost 45 knots or so. So we're taking a look at about 52 mile per hour low-level jet winds. It's going to be ramping and cranking these storms through the area about 62 to 65 miles per hour. So definitely not good. These are going to be fast-moving storms, but take a look at this storm slinky here right in the center of the screen. It's definitely given that sort of hook echo shape. So that's definitely not good. We're definitely going to see very, very intense tornadoes near the Little Rock area, unfortunately. Very highly populated area. We're also looking at 343 for the SRH values. So that's the storm relative helicity. We're also looking at surface CAPE of 1,705 joules per kilogram. So definitely a very buoyant atmosphere. Forecast to go up to 2,200 joules per kilogram. Unfortunately, down here, we're looking at precipitable water values of about 1.43. So we're moving from classic supercell to about HP or high precipitation supercells. Unfortunately, some of these tornadoes later on tonight into the evening are going to be sort of very hard to see. There might be rain wrapped as well. We can get some monster wedge tornadoes down there that could definitely be hidden behind the coils of rain. So if you guys are out there storm chasing, you guys are out there driving, definitely please be safe out there. It's definitely going to be a very intense situation as we head on in through tonight. So definitely please be on the lookout for very, very strong, violent tornadoes here through Arkansas, even through Mississippi, over through Tennessee. Let's actually take a look at Memphis here later on tonight. Same thing, PDS tornado warning, unfortunately. We're sort of looking at a loaded gun sounding here, unfortunately. You can take a look at the sounding data here. You can see how much CAPE is actually in the atmosphere here, that the atmosphere has at its disposal. So the convective available potential energy values, 1,919 joules per kilogram, forecast to go up to near 2,500 joules per kilogram. You can see the storm slinky once again, definitely looking at sort of hook echo shaped storms as well into the Memphis area. Critical angle is about 61 degrees. So we like that to be near 90, but 61 is very, very good in this area. Unfortunately, the streamwise vorticity can definitely be easily ingested into these storms, and these mesocyclones can definitely dynamically pipe down to the ground pretty easily to produce tornadoes, unfortunately. And we are looking at about 52 or 53 knots for the low-level jet here, so we're looking at about 61, 62 miles per hour. About the same thing for the storm motions as well. We're looking at about 60 to 65 mile per hour storm motions. They're definitely going to be heading off to the east or slightly northeast. And we're definitely going to be looking at sort of classic to high precipitation supercells here with that precipitable water value here. So if you guys take a look at this PW value, 1.47 inches, so that's definitely pretty juicy. So definitely, unfortunately, some of these tornadoes may be well hidden behind the coils of rain. And you can take a look at these D-CAPE values here of 834. So we're going to have some major winds coming through here as well. So the mid-level and the low-level jet are going to be cranking today, as these winds can definitely easily make it down to the surface. We could possibly see winds, as I said earlier, in excess of 70 miles per hour in some of these areas. So definitely please be on the lookout for that. We also have monster SRH values here. So take a look at this number. 439 meters squared per second squared. So definitely not good in terms of the storm relative helicity. So definitely be on the lookout for that, folks. It's definitely very interesting. I know I mentioned storm relative helicity a lot. So I definitely want to... I'm sorry, I'm looking at that CAPE value. That CAPE value is definitely massive. It's almost 2,000 joules per kilogram. That's definitely pretty crazy. Definitely pretty crazy here. The LI, the lifted index as well, is definitely -7, -8. So that's very good in terms of severe weather as well. So basically, when I tell you guys what storm relative helicity is. It's basically a measure of the potential for cyclonic updraft rotation. So basically, we're going to have to be, the larger the value, the easier it is for storms to rotate here, especially in the lower levels, which can definitely produce tornadoes. So the higher the number is right in this area, the greater chance there is for tornadoes. And this is in the Memphis area tonight, guys. So definitely please be on the lookout for very, very strong and intense tornadoes around 6 to 7 p.m. tonight. Let me actually let's go further into Kentucky and Tennessee. Man, we have massive photographs out here as well. So, I mean, there's not really much in terms of severe weather. We're definitely going to have some elevated convection here, so definitely some super showers, as I like to call them. So definitely some heavy rain here in central Kentucky. We are going to have storm motions about 44 knots. So the rain is definitely going to be coming in relatively quickly today. So we're looking at about 51 mile per hour. But we're looking at very juicy dew points at 56 degrees. So the green line here, just to show you guys, is the dew point. The red line is the actual temperature. So later on tonight, around 7 p.m., we're looking at 65 degrees and 56 for a dew point here in central Kentucky. We're only looking at about 48 for the SRH value. So we're definitely not looking in terms of tornadoes here. Looking at more of sort of maybe some pulse thunderstorms developing, so popcorn variety thunderstorms as well. So really they're going to be, they'll probably form relatively quickly and dissipate relatively quickly as we head on through the night. So central Kentucky, you guys look okay for now, but we're definitely later on. So if we go into, let's go into about 9 p.m. tonight. Let's go back to the same area. Yeah, we're still looking okay here. Just a lot of rain. We could definitely see a good bit of soaking rain through central Kentucky here. As we head over into southwestern Kentucky, though, we definitely have that probability for tornadoes, unfortunately. But just to show you guys here, just to pull this up, this is definitely not looking good for the photograph here. We're looking at almost 70 knots for the winds on the low-level jet. That's 81 mile per hour, so it's definitely not good. We can see winds up to that value. We're also looking at storm motions here. So right in here, looking at about 74 to about 87 mile per hour storm motion. So these storms are going to be moving very fast. Unfortunately, take a look at that storm slinky here. We're looking at a critical angle of 65. We're getting closer to that 90 degrees. That storm slinky is very sort of not good looking here at all. We can definitely see the possibility for hook echoes definitely developing later on today through southwestern Kentucky. Unfortunately, it looks like it's going to be more of a high precipitation supercell type environment. Classic to high precipitation with that 1.37 inch precipitable water values. Look at that supercell composite indice here as well, highlighted in purple. 23.7. That's absolutely massive, folks. Also, take a look at the SRH value. 918 meters squared per second squared. That's scary, folks. That is absolutely, that's freaking scary. That elevated mix layer as well is definitely not looking good. It's definitely going to help steepen lapse rates. So definitely temperatures are going to be decreasing there as you go up in height very fast. And unfortunately, that's going to allow for instability to develop rather quickly. But yeah, it's not good. I would say that there's definitely going to be tornadoes here in southwestern Kentucky tonight. Especially given the massive hook in the photograph there. So we're looking at 60 to 80 mile per hour storm motion as well, and even winds around that range. So definitely not good. That ventilation rate was actually pretty good too. And it's going to have trouble loading that, isn't it? There we go. Let me actually go back here. Yeah, we have a pretty good ventilation rate up to the top here. So this is the equilibrium level, that EL. So if we trace this line all the way over, we can see up near 12 kilometers in the atmosphere. Right above that, where the dew point and the temperature sort of skew here, they go, the dew point goes up and to the left, temperature goes over to the right here. So that's definitely a nice ventilation rate for this storm as well. 855 for the SRH value. I'm very surprised that this isn't a PDS tornado. Unfortunately, it definitely looks like, let's say 79 for storm motions as well. 79 knots. So we're looking at about 91 mile per hour storm motions. And unfortunately, we could have winds up to at least 80 miles per hour, definitely here in southwestern Kentucky. So if you guys live in that area, definitely please be on the lookout. It's definitely not going to be good. Let me actually go to wind gusts here. It's definitely not good. It's going to be near to the south of the Paducah area. Some of these models, I really don't trust that 10-meter wind gusts. I definitely think they're going to be a lot higher than 45 miles per hour. They're going to be near where you see Carbondale there at 59. They're definitely going to be right around that range, maybe even higher. I could definitely see some 70s and 80 mile per hour winds coming into northwestern Tennessee, southwestern Kentucky here, even into southeastern Missouri as well. We take a look at some of the sounding data from here. Massive omega values. That's these red lines here indicate omega values. So that's directly related to vertical velocity here, upward vertical velocity. 342 for the SRH values as well. 69 degree temperature with 67 degree dew point. Definitely very, very conducive for tornadoes to develop here. A lot of fuel as well. Even that 1.94 precipitable water value. So that's going to be very high, intense high precipitation supercells. Definitely tornadoes. Take a look at that storm slinky as well. Critical angles down at 37. So that might be good news here into southeastern Missouri here as we move on later on tonight, 8 p.m. But unfortunately, that storm slinky is still sort of giving those sort of bow echo and hook echo type structures. So definitely not good. 0 to 1 kilometer, about 50 knots. So we're looking at about 57, 58 mile per hour. We're looking at storm motions. Let's see here. So we're looking at 45 and 62 here. So we're looking at storm motions on average about 65 miles per hour. Basically off to the northeast from the southwest to the northeast. So it's definitely not looking good tonight, folks. One thing I do want to look at is definitely in the Pittsburgh area. Definitely, I'm very curious. I definitely want to see some of these wind values that they're coming up with here. At some of the models here. So let's take a look at Friday, 11 p.m. We're looking at a 43 mile per hour wind gusts in the Pittsburgh area. Let's actually step this forward a little bit. 1 a.m. we're looking at 47. 4 a.m. 48. So definitely an uptick. Morgantown was definitely the big winner there, though. I don't know if you guys saw that. Definitely around 50 to 60 mile per hour wind gusts down here through Morgantown. Even in the mountainous terrain, I could definitely see where the winds are definitely going to be having that Venturi effect here. Somerset, 55 mile per hour winds. Let's zoom in a little bit. Let's take a look at the actual data. Man, look at that. Look at that photograph there. 0 to 1 kilometer. We're looking at about 72 knots. So we're definitely looking at 82 to 83 mile per hour. So definitely we can have some wind gusts around that high as well. Definitely nothing really severe coming in. Definitely some rain showers for sure. So this is 4 a.m. tomorrow. Let me actually go to the reflectivity type here. In future reflectivity, so that's 7 a.m. I'm very curious at some of the model data here. Especially around in the afternoon hours and evening hours. Here we go. Let's take a look at the Pittsburgh area. Yeah, we have some omega values coming in, so we're definitely going to have some winds and some precipitation coming through. We have 0.7 for precipitable water value. So it's definitely going to be quarter inch to a half an inch of rain or so. Photograph is starting to get a little kink there. We may have some bowing segments. We're going to have some sort of linear structure bowing out, which is pretty evident on the actual future radar here. If you guys can see that, you can see that bowing segment just to the to the left and up to the sort of northwest of the P there in Pittsburgh. You can see that bowing segment definitely showing up here. So that storm slinky is definitely pretty cool. Definitely a pretty neat feature. Let's actually go to the north. So we used to chase up near Zelienople, so let's actually take a look at this. 0 to 1 kilometer, looking at about 40 knots. So looking at winds about 40 to 50 miles per hour. That's definitely possible. With Cape values of 190 So that's not too bad. We're also looking at SRH values of 103. So I mean, we're definitely looking at non-supercell type storms. So let's see here. I definitely want to go through 3 p.m. Fortunately, it looks like there's more snow coming in tomorrow night as well, around 4 p.m. So we're going to have colder temperatures coming in tomorrow night, 41. We do have a little bit of a dendritic growth zone up to the about 3 to 6 kilometer range as well. Yeah, we're definitely looking at a little bit of snow. Nothing that's going to accumulate in the Pittsburgh area. We're still looking at some winds though. I'm very curious though. I definitely want to see. I'm very curious around that lunchtime to 2 p.m. area. So definitely take a look at this. Yeah, definitely marginal severe tomorrow. I can definitely see that 66 degrees with a 43-degree dew point. I definitely want to see that dew point come up a little bit here. 43 degrees really, it's good, but it's not good where we want it to be. I'd rather have that dew point up in the 50s and 60s for this area. 602 for the Cape and 128 SRH value. About a half an inch for precipitable water. Equilibrium level is about 7.5 kilometers up. We're looking at about 45 knots for the low-level jet there. So we're looking at about 52 mile per hour. Storm motions are going to be at 56 knots for about 65 miles per hour. So yeah, I could definitely see maybe some rumbles of thunder tomorrow. I definitely hope. Actually, you know what? Oh man, I definitely want to activate chase mode for sure. Let me see here. I definitely want to chase one of these storms. I'm just curious to look at the updraft helicity, the 2 to 5 kilometer AGL run max here. Curious to see. Kind of looks like southern Butler County maybe hit the most, at least in this area. Unfortunately, there's a dendritic growth zone as well from about 7,600 feet to 15,000 feet up in the atmosphere here around 5 p.m. But I want to look at the 2 p.m. area in southern Butler County here. Marginal severe. I definitely may try to head up north tomorrow. I definitely want to see what's going to happen up there. Maybe I might head to that Speedway gas station if it's unless it changed its the gas station up there again, because I know that Speedway did disappear. I'm not sure if they were remodeling or if they just tore it down. I definitely might try to make the chase tomorrow. 0 to 1 kilometer, about 40 knots. So it's about 46 to 50 miles per hour. Storm motion about 43. About 50 mile per hour. Okay. 64 degrees with a 41-degree dew point, though. It's definitely kind of low, though. That dew point's definitely pretty low. The cloud base really is pretty sort of high up there as well. We're looking at about 2 kilometers and about 90 SRH value at 374 Cape. It's definitely doable tomorrow. I'll definitely see how I feel after work. I definitely want to chase for sure. That's definitely no question. Let me go down by a cow just to see the old stomping grounds down by the university here. And yeah, photograph is a little disappointing there. The temperatures are a little bit more disappointing down to the south as well. Let me actually head into 1 p.m. Almost looks like the more favorable areas up in Mercer County here. Mercer County may be the area tomorrow. Possibly tornadoes tomorrow and up near Mercer County. 191 SRH value. It's around 1 p.m. tomorrow. Looking at 0 to 1 kilometer, about 40 knots. Again, we're looking at about 46 to 50 mile per hour. Storm motion's at 51, so that's very good. Looking at about 59 to 60 mile per hour storm motions. The dew point's definitely coming up. We're approaching the 50s there. We're at 46. 63-degree temperature. Cape value is 1,150 joules per kilogram. Precipitable water is definitely down, so we're definitely going to have those interesting sort of features out there. Definitely can get. I'm going to charge my camera actually today. I might actually head up to the north tomorrow. So it's going to be north of Mercer County. Up near Erie actually looks pretty good too. Erie's a pretty far drive though from the Pittsburgh area. Westmoreland County tomorrow. Marginal tornado as well. Westmoreland County is a little bit more open for me. So we're looking at. Let's see here. Looking at storm motions of about 66 miles per hour. 175 SRH, that's very good for this area. 65 degrees with a 44-degree dew point, 623 joules per kilogram of Cape. Maybe some hook echo tomorrow, possibly. Critical angle is only 51, though. Still pretty good for the Pennsylvania area. A little bit of mixed layer convective inhibition there, minus 10. Very interesting. I don't know if pivot weather has the LI index or not. Let me see here. Yeah, there it is. -4. It's not too bad. -4 is pretty good. Supercell's only at 2.2 though, so it's going to be very difficult to squeeze out a tornado here in Pennsylvania. Let's actually go up here near Clarion. That's a little bit better. -5 for the lifted index here. A little over 1100 in the Cape. 202 SRH. That's very good. Nice curvature in the hodograph. So yeah, up near Clarion may be a good area. That's very far though. That's about 2 hours or so away from here. Still, nevertheless, definitely have to keep chasing these things. Definitely don't want to miss anything for sure. Let's head into lunchtime. Lunchtime looks favorable here in the Pittsburgh area, actually. Alright, I think I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to see if I can leave work a little bit earlier tomorrow. I definitely want to get the chase going here. I'm definitely going to head to the north, though. I am definitely going to head. If I do chase tomorrow, I'm definitely going to head to the north. Question is, do I keep going north? Or do I go to sort of the northeast? I think I'm actually going to head north. Butler County looks pretty good. Right around lunchtime. So definitely storms can definitely tap into some of this potential here. 47-degree dew point, a little bit higher around the lunchtime. Let's see here. I'm curious around 11 a.m. Might actually even look better in the morning. And it does. Dew points in the 50s. We're definitely looking at better structure here in the morning. Let's see here. Problem is, models aren't really picking up on data here, at least for the... that's alright. Yeah, I think I might activate chase mode tomorrow. We're definitely going to see what's going on here. There we go. Take a look at some of these wind gusts here, folks. So, right around 1 p.m. tomorrow, we're looking at about 60 mile per hour wind gusts. I'm definitely going to have to be careful out there if I do chase. If you guys are out there, definitely family and friends, definitely please stay safe out there as well. Definitely bring pets indoors. Definitely secure outdoor objects later on tonight into tomorrow morning if you can. Definitely don't want to be dodging trash cans out there. So yeah, definitely please stay safe, guys. Definitely thank you for joining me. Definitely hit that like button if you can. And definitely subscribe if you are enjoying the content. I definitely appreciate you guys being here for sure. You definitely see some of those winds transitioning to the mountains as well. It's 60 miles per hour, possibly even into the 70s. Definitely have to watch out for that for sure. Morgantown, big time winds. 61, possibly even again into the 70s tomorrow. But yeah, we're definitely looking at 50 to 60 mile per hour wind gusts tomorrow in the Pittsburgh area. So definitely, guys, be on the lookout for that. Just to give you guys another sort of look through here. Please be on the lookout for very, very strong tornadoes here. Very strong damaging winds and gorilla-size hail. We're talking about baseball-size hail, possibly even up to softball-size hail through Arkansas, Missouri, Illinois, Wisconsin, Iowa as well, even Tennessee, down through Mississippi as well. So, guys, definitely please heed the warnings. If you guys get under a severe thunderstorm or a tornado warning, definitely please take shelter immediately, guys. Your life is more important than anything at this point. So definitely, actually, your life is more important always. So guys, just remember that. Definitely don't want to have, definitely don't want to see major catastrophic, crazy death tolls today, guys. So definitely, please heed the warnings today. And definitely, thank you guys for joining me. Definitely appreciate it. Real quick, let's go through. So the Pittsburgh area definitely in the slight risk tomorrow here. This actually stretches all the way through northern and central Pennsylvania, even eastern Pennsylvania, up through New York as well. So it's definitely going to be very interesting, folks. We also have that sort of marginal risk here from southeastern Alabama, northern Florida, all the way through Georgia, South Carolina. This includes the Myrtle Beach area. Definitely be on the lookout down there, guys. Definitely appreciate you guys joining me. I'm definitely going to hop off of here, probably get some sleep for work tonight. Hopefully it's not too bad. Like I said, definitely please heed the warnings today, guys. I definitely appreciate definitely everything that you guys have done. You guys have made this channel possible. You guys have definitely given us the best jobs. I wish Justin was here to join me. Unfortunately, I believe he is working today, so I'm sure he is sleeping right now. But definitely shout out to Justin. Definitely shout out to my brother Keith. Shout out to my parents as well. Definitely thank you guys for your support, and my family, all my uncles, aunts. Definitely appreciate it. My sister as well, my brother. And all the subscribers here. We have over 2,000 subscribers here on the channel now, so definitely appreciate you guys. All right, I'm going to jump off of here. Always remember, folks, never stop chasing. Thank you. Have a good day.